Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. It begins in the near future following the passing of a bill that made it illegal to clone humans. Named after the day that God created man, the Sixth-Day Law is targeted at preventing the corporation Replacement Technologies from making clones. They don't abide by the law, and during a game of the modern football league where coaches deliver plays directly to their players' visors, the most famous quarterback of the current era, Johnny Phoenix, gets his neck broken and needs to be rushed to the hospital. While on the way, a security agent from Replacement Tech, Robert Marshall, is informed to take Johnny off life support as they don't intend to maintain a contract with a vegetable. The next morning, charter pilot Adam wakes on his birthday to the news that Johnny'll still be playing this weekend as his injuries were just minor. Adam lives with his wife Natalie and their daughter Clara, who begs him to buy her a creepy lifelike doll called a Sim Pal and offers him a nacho-flavored banana. He agrees to buy her the present after work, but as an old-fashioned kinda guy, he chooses the banana-flavored banana instead. He travels to work with his partner Hank, who says that Adam should buy the new laser razor because he keeps cutting himself shaving. It's made by the same company who made Hank's virtual girlfriend that he complains about not being able to turn off this morning. At work, Adam's told that he'll be transporting the head of Replacement Technologies, Drucker, and that he requires them to take a drug test before the charter. Before they leave, Adam receives a call from Natalie to say that their elderly dog Oliver became ill and needed to be put down. She expresses her concern about how sad their daughter will be and tells Adam to visit an animal cloning service called Repet to get an exact replica. He doesn't trust clones and thinks that Clara should just learn from this to accept death as a part of life, but the wife gets what she wants. The two pilots split the group of tourists up and take them by whispercraft into the mountains, where they deliver them for a day of snowboarding. Adam recently received a remote giving him the ability to pilot two choppers at the same time, so he joins Hank while remotely controlling his vehicle back to the office. They convert into planes and race each other through the mountains while Hank manages to keep up with Adam, who still has to get used to the device. When they get back, representatives for Drucker request the pilots sign waivers, take blood tests, and submit to an eye screening before meeting their client. Drucker specifically asked for Adam due to his reputation, but since he doesn't know what he looks like, Hank flies the high-profile client himself while Adam goes to Repet to clone Oliver. Upon returning to the snowy mountain, Hank's shown through the eyes of Drucker being shot by an extremist against cloning named Tripp. We jump to Adam waking up in a taxi, confused at how he got there and needing to rush to Repet before it closes. Still unsure about cloning the dog, a salesman attempts to convince him by saying that Repets are better than a real dog because they're insured for life. Adam's about to give in when he spots the sim doll that his daughter wanted and decides to get the horrifying little robot instead. He returns home, but while trying to think of what to say about Oliver, he sees a clone of him already in the yard and assumes that Natalie's to blame. About to open his front door, Adam spots through the window a clone of himself attending his own surprise party with another one of these ugly dolls. Before he has a chance to find out what's happening, he's approached by two thugs, Vincent and Talia, who tase him and attempt to bring Adam back to their boss. They work for Robert, but Adam manages to escape using Talia's taser on Vincent and steals his own Cadillac from the garage. The fourth security agent for Replacement Technologies, Wiley, chases down Adam while Talia leaps into the caddy. She's disarmed by Adam but doesn't have much time to say anything before Wiley accidentally shoots her in the neck with crossfire. She dies, and so does her killer when Adam hits the brakes, flinging Wiley onto the road and then driving over top of him on his way out. Meanwhile, Drucker's shaken off the assassination and attends an event with the inventor of the cloning technology, Dr. Griffin, and his wife Katherine. They try to sway the public's opinion on human cloning, all of who reject the idea but then ironically worship Johnny. One U.S. senator whose son's dying of brain cancer and could do with a replacement talks in private about the idea. Drucker offers him a perfect clone that the senator can't resist, but he would be destroyed if anyone finds out, so he'll now do anything to get a new bill passed to allow cloning humans. Elsewhere, Adam realizes the other Adam must be a clone, but Talia told him they'll kill his family if he returns, so he goes to the police to report it. The story sounds far-fetched to the lieutenant, so he offers Adam a psychiatrist, but Robert puts the notice out that he's already an escaped patient in need of detaining. Meanwhile, Griffin gets back to the lab, where it's revealed that whenever his henchmen die, he just clones them and puts them back on the mission. While Wiley's still cooking, Talia's brought back to life with all her memories until the moment her teammate shot her dead. She's angry at requiring another trip to the salon and recovers her corpse's earrings that she forces through her new unpierced lobes. When they recover, the henchmen arrive at the precinct, but Wiley hasn't yet mentally recovered from being run over and waits outside. When Adam realizes that he's being held captive, he smashes his way out through the two-way monitor before Robert and Vincent can arrive. He bumps into Wiley, who wants his revenge but has his neck snapped instead, leaving him dead for a second time. Robert plays it off in front of the public and they carry his limp body back to the lab for another cloning. Adam goes to see Hank, who's just getting home to a night in with his virtual girlfriend, when his friend arrives to ruin the mood. He asks Hank to come with him to prove that he isn't crazy, so they return to Adam's home to witness the living breathing clone. With assurance by Hank that he's the original due to the cut from shaving, Adam's about to take himself out to reclaim his life but isn't able to do it. They then witness Natalie give the clone his birthday present of contraband cigars just as Drucker's people arrive searching for him. Adam sneaks inside and pretends to be unaware of Robert and Talia's identity to direct them away from the house while Hank witnesses the clone fool around in the garage with his friend's wife. He then joins Adam inside and the clueless henchmen leave to search the surrounding area assuming that they've just spoken with a clone. When they get back to Hank's place, Adam inadvertently activates the virtual girlfriend that makes his friend jealous. He brings up what he saw in the garage, but Adam just seems more disheartened that the clone smoked his birthday stogie. Suddenly Hank's shot and killed as the religious extremist arrives, but he doesn't want to harm Adam or any real humans. He now wants to leave, but Adam wants revenge for his friend, so the two fight until Tripp's shot and wounded, but the assassin still escapes. He doesn't get far with the blood loss, so Adam drags him out of his car to learn that Hank was a clone as Tripp killed the original on the mountaintop. He was collateral damage in the assassination of Drucker, who's now been cloned by Griffin for a third time in a cycle that never ends. They cloned Hank to cover it up, but not wanting to be cloned himself, the devout fundamentalist shoots himself before they take his DNA scan. Robert and Talia show up and corner Adam in the parking lot, but he manages to fight back, blowing off Robert's leg and a few of Talia's fingers. He's then able to use the thumb to gain access to the security company's computers and steal the guard's vehicle. He sneaks into replacement technologies, almost getting caught by a guard when dropping the digit, but recovers it and keeps going. Eventually its access stops working and he takes a security guard with higher clearance hostage to gain entry into Drucker's secret lab. When Adam finally confronts Griffin, he gets the shocking news that he was cloned by mistake when the company heard that he died on the mountaintop with Drucker. During the movie, Griffin's wife Katherine has been dying from an illness, and not for the first time. She begged Griffin not to clone her again, saying that the real Katherine died 5 years ago, so he begrudgingly abided to let her go. He then discovered that Drucker deliberately inserted defects into his wife so that she would die within 5 years in order to keep control over their numbers. Because of this, Griffin throws in with Adam and is willing to reveal video recording of Drucker's murder that proves he's cloning humans. He cloned Hank and Adam to cover it up because he would lose replacement technologies if the public found out that he was a clone. Meanwhile, the security guards have all been cloned again, but learn that Adam's inside the building when Talia's already been signed into work. They warn Drucker that Adam's inside the building, but he's more mad that it keeps costing him millions to continuously revive the useless security. He sends Vincent and Talia to take Natalie and Clara hostage for possible leverage, while he sends Robert and Wiley to locate the intruder. Adam manages to escape carrying all the evidence he needs and leaves Griffin handcuffed at the exit to appear loyal to security. When Griffin confronts Drucker on killing his wife, Drucker just shoots his partner in the head, intending to clone him without the memories of this conversation. Vincent and Talia locate Adam's family at the school and kidnap Natalie and Clara before the clone can rescue them. When Adam gets to the school, he finds himself calling the cops and tries to explain what's going on, but first needs to knock himself out for sleeping with his wife. He wakes up and they work together to rescue his family by first preparing explosives for their assault on the replacement technologies headquarters. Adam uses one of the whispercrafts to draw Talia and Robert out, while the other Adam makes his way inside the building using his contract with replacement tech to get him past security. Drucker receives word that his charter pilots arrive, so he has everyone seal off the building before hunting down the intruder. They chase him around the facility until Adam gets trapped in a corner and is forced to surrender or else be killed. He's taken to Drucker, who reveals that Adam is really the clone and that the one he saw at home's actually the original. It's why he doesn't remember before the cab and the repet salesman seemed to recognize Adam, but he thought he was just being friendly. Talia shows evidence of her many resurrections and Adam sees that he has an indication of his own that seems to prove what Drucker's saying. In order to find out where Adam hid the evidence of their treachery, they put him in the scanner to watch where he previously went. They realize that the original Adam was in the whispercraft the whole time, as he's currently planning the explosives and cuts the power. The clone manages to escape by using Drucker as a shield, who's fatally shot by Wiley as Adam dives out a window and takes off on foot. The original then kills Vincent while retrieving his wife and daughter, while Drucker plugs Wiley in the back for shooting him and tells Robert not to bring him back. Adam gets his family onto the chopper and flies them to safety without them ever seeing the two fathers together or knowing about it. The clone remains behind to destroy the lab and swims around in the cloning pool to avoid security when they enter. A specimen startles him, giving his location away to Talia, who fires a shot shattering the containment pool when she misses. Drucker's in the middle of creating a replacement of himself when the water that flows through destroys the machine and leaves his clone only half completed. Robert gets crushed under a pile of premature clones and Talia's hung in the cables by Adam, who pulls himself back up. He confronts Drucker's new clone who attempts to make a deal, but Adam doesn't want any part of it and destroys all of the DNA samples amassed by the company. He then reveals to the clone that the reanimation was a failure, but Drucker still fights to the death to keep the new clone alive. Adam leaves them and sets the timer to destroy the lab, but when he runs to the rooftop, the gooey Drucker follows him. Security pin him down on the helipad, but the original Adam arrives in the Whispercraft to save himself. Drucker lands a shot on Adam when he attempts to stand up, so the other leaps out to help him and circles the chopper around. He remotely chases their attacker onto a glass skylight that shatters beneath him, sending Drucker plummeting into the lobby to die. The Adams leap onto the passing craft as the explosives ignite, destroying the top portion of replacement tech and their labs inside. The survivors just manage to avoid crashing into another skyrise, pulling up at the last moment as they escape the scene. The next day, the clone that we've been following the whole movie prepares to leave town, but the original Adam says that he's allowed to say goodbye to his wife and daughter. He gives Clara a repet of Hank's cat, knowing that he'll never see them again, and takes a company chopper to Argentina to start a new life. And the movie ends.